All right. Good afternoon, HMS. Good afternoon. There we go. We get a little bit. We get some stirs. I like that. It's only the second week of school, so come on, keep it going. Keep it going. We have a very special guest this afternoon. Someone who I actually found. He knows someone I know, which that's always the case. He's going to come in and read a book for you guys and answer some of your questions today and talk about what he does. All right? So without any further ado, let me introduce John Noddy. Let's give him a big hand.
How's everybody doing today? Okay. The book I'm going to read to you is called Happy Dreamer. And we're going to see how well I do because I'm a Marine and we have trouble with big words. So, Happy Dreamer by Peter H. Reynolds. I am a happy dreamer. I'm really good at dreaming. Daydreams, big dreams, little dreams, creative dreams. Dreamer Maximus. Sometimes the world tells me, sit still, be quiet, pay attention, focus. But my dreams have a mind of their own. Sometimes my mind just takes flight. I hear a beat and I gotta move. Then I hear another and another. Wish you could hear inside my head. Trumpety zigzag jazz. Sometimes I'm a quiet dreamer. When I make time to stay still and hear myself think, to let go and see what takes shape. Do you see that? Sometimes I'm a swing high dreamer, way up high, beyond the clouds. So high, I can touch the sky. I can also be a loud dreamer. Hello, world. I'm a shout at the top of my lungs dreamer. Even if I'm just a loud inside my head dreamer. Sometimes I'm a colorful dreamer, painting my own path, full of surprises at every turn. I can dream even when the lights are out. All circuits on, fireworks. I light up. I'm all ears, eyes, heart, and mind. I have so many dreams, it can get messy. Creative chaos. Cleaning up hides my treasures. If you make me, I will put my things away. But then there is less me to show. These are the moments I feel alone, boxed in. And yet, I always find a way back, plunging into amazing, delightful, happy dreams. I'm really good at being me. A dreamer, surprising, caring, funny, gentle, smart. And when I tumble back to earth, I know I'm okay. Dreamers have a way of bouncing back and moving forward. There are so many ways to be a happy dreamer. What kind of dreamer are you? Ice cream happy, Sunshine happy. Make a difference happy. Nap happy. Music happy. Dance happy. Peaceful happy. Catch happy. Kindness happy. Awe happy. Silly happy. Foot stomping happy. Winged dreamer. Royal dreamer. Thinking dreamer. Sweet dreamer. Sunny dreamer. Floating dreamer. Love dreamer. Wild dreamer. Crazy dreamer. Power dreamer. Civic dreamer. Secret dreamer. Dizzy happy. Art happy. Move happy. Hard work happy. Celebration happy. Laugh happy. Nature happy. Discovery happy. Family happy. Alone happy. Friends happy. Ocean happy. Dreamy dreamer. Teen dreamer. Vision dreamer. Goal dreamer. Stage dreamer. Stellar dreamer. Night dreamer. Day dreamer. Big dreamer. Space dreamer. Fierce dreamer. Giant dreamer. There are so many ways to be a happy dreamer. What kind of dreamer are you? The best way to be a happy dreamer is to just be you, which is why this book is dedicated to you. Yes, you. Yeah.
From the audience here, we're going to have John kind of talk about his project, The Warrior Heart, and kind of his life. So listen up, and that might help us with some of the questions that you guys might have.
So a while back, I started a project that I called The Warrior Heart. And I am a Marine Corps veteran. I served a little over 12 years in the Marine Corps between active duty and reserves. And when I started the Warrior Heart, it was because there are a lot of veterans that deal with depression and PTSD and anxiety. And there are a lot of civilians, a lot of other people that deal with the same thing. But there's also a lot of people out there who they don't have the confidence or the tools that they need to deal with things that life throws at everybody. So my goal with the Warrior Heart is to help inspire people and empower people and make everyone see that sees my work and sees my videos that the only thing that can limit you is yourself. Sometimes we all do things a little bit differently. As long as you believe you can do it, and as long as you always give it your best, that's always good enough. And nobody can ever tell you any different. And that's one of the reasons when I was given a few book options, I picked Happy Dreamer because of that end line. The best way is to always just be you and believe in yourself and just give it your best because that's always good enough.
Alright, we're going to open it up to some questions. So who's got a question in the audience? Raise your hand. Oh, Mark.
Do I have any hobbies? Well, I do ride a motorcycle, so I do enjoy riding my motorcycle. I like going fishing. I used to like going to the gym and exercising, but now I work too many jobs in addition to the Warrior Heart, so I haven't been getting into the gym or running as much as I probably should. So I'd say fishing and riding my motorcycle. Those are my two favorite hobbies.
George?
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Music.
What music do you like?
What music do I like? I listen to a very wide range of music. I used to not like country music very much, and then when I went to the Marine Corps, I was stationed down in the South, and I really had no choice but to listen to it. It kind of grew on me. So, but I listen to a wide range of music. The majority of the time, especially on a motorcycle, it's classic rock and country music. That's the majority. Did that answer your question?
What are the 3 websites that you visit daily?
Ooh, 3 websites that I visit daily. Well, Facebook is one because I'm usually on there either updating something or responding to something on the Warrior Heart Facebook page. YouTube is another one. I'll visit that whether I'm researching something, or looking at movie trailers or things like that. Third website that I go to every day. Probably the Apple website because I'm big on technology and I'm always looking at the newest and latest and greatest and dreaming a little bit.
What did you do in Air Force?
What did you do in the air?
I started out as infantry, and I had an option in my contract called security forces. So the first 2 years after I completed my training with boot camp at Paris Island and my infantry training, my first 2 years I actually spent on an aircraft carrier. So I was there. It was on the USS George Washington, which at the time was the newest aircraft carrier in the fleet. And while on board, I actually had the opportunity to take part in the 50th anniversary of the Normandy invasion from World War II. We were on the maiden Mediterranean voyage for that aircraft carrier. And we got to take part in that. I got to meet a lot of the higher up officials in the government at the time, the Secretary of Defense, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, who was General Carl Mundy at the time. And then after that, I transitioned to Stinger missiles. And Stinger missiles was a shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missile to protect our ground troops.
Question coming up here from Sharon.
Back to group scan. Yes/no. Yes. Clear. Clear.
I need to go back.
What made me want to be a motivational speaker? Several things. A couple of people who I was served with in the Marine Corps ended up succumbing to the depression and the PTSD that they were dealing with. The other thing was my son. My son is now in his senior year of college at William Patterson University up in North Jersey. But when he was born, he had a condition that required him to go through 8 major surgeries, all before his 2nd birthday. He spent most of his first 2 years in the hospital. And from day one, I never let him use it as a crutch. I said, if you put your mind to something, you can do anything that anyone else can. Maybe some things you have to do differently, but you can still do it. And to look at him now, you would never know that he went through what he did when he was younger. But he always fought and he always gave it his best and he never gave up. When I think he didn't always succeed, but I told him, I said, you're gonna fail sometimes, we all do. There's no shame in that, as long as you're giving it your best effort, whatever your best is. So that kind of inspired me. Seeing the young man that he's become inspired me to want to help other people as well.
What did you do on vacation? Hi.
What you do on vacation?
What do I do on vacation? That's a very foreign word to me, vacation. In addition to the warrior heart, I actually work 3 jobs. Again, I'm a single parent, my son's in college. So my full-time job, Monday through Friday, I am a facilities manager for a company in Horsham, Pennsylvania. On Saturdays and Sundays, and lately a lot of weeknights as well, I work a 2nd job selling motorcycles at Brian's Harley Davidson in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. And then occasionally, if I get a little spare time, I will drive for Uber and Lyft. So it doesn't leave me with a lot of other time because I also try to keep up to speed with the warrior heart. So I haven't taken a vacation in quite a while. I'm probably overdue for one. If you have any ideas or suggestions, I'd be welcome to take them.
What does warrior heart mean?
Okay, the warrior heart actually came to me. I woke up one morning and I had this symbol in my head. The arrow symbol is actually a rune symbol, which for lack of a better term to simplify it, it was kind of like the Viking alphabet. The Vikings were seen as warriors. This rune stands for, it's Tiwaz, which is a symbol of a warrior, and it represents the warrior god Tyr in the Viking and Norse mythology. Being a Marine, Marines are warriors, and I just kind of had this vision that everybody has this warrior heart inside of them. They just need to awaken it. You know, some people get beat down through negative life experiences, through being told that they're not good enough. You still have that warrior heart inside of you. You just have to believe it, and you give it your best, and that's always good enough. So that's where I got this from, and that's how I came up with the warrior heart.
How do you help people find that in themselves?
So initially, when I began the warrior heart, it started with me just getting up and speaking in videos. And I would speak about whatever came to mind, whatever I felt like speaking about, whether it be leadership, integrity, communication, relationship stuff. Understanding that every topic was not going to resonate with every person that saw the video. And also that everyone wasn't going to agree with my point of view. But I felt that as long as I made people think, you know, maybe I don't agree with what he's saying here, but if I were in that situation, how would I want to deal with it? and they come up with their own idea and their own plan for a situation. But I never wanted it to be just me speaking on a camera telling people what to do. So I developed another feature, another segment that I call the Warrior Heartbeats. And what I do with that is when I come across an individual that I feel exemplifies what it means to have the warrior heart, I will feature their story. I'll give them a patch or a t-shirt, something like that. And then I try to do something nice for them. Last year, just over a year ago, it was last August, there was a young boy, his name was Ryder, and he was born with developmental delays and a sensory processing disorder. So different sight, sound, situations, all that can be very unnerving to him. And it can either shut him down or make him, freak out. But when he wears his little police uniform and rides around in his battery-operated police car with the lights and sirens and everything, that gives him the courage to go up to people and speak to people. So when I heard about his story, I reached out to a couple of friends of mine who were on the Philadelphia Police Department. And I said, hey, can you give me some patches, a hat, something, because I was going to go out and visit him. He lives a little south of Philadelphia. And they said, let's take it a step further. So he met me down there one morning. He led in the front, and I was behind, and we went right to, we escorted the family to Philadelphia Police Headquarters. And Ryder rode that little battery-operated police car right into the building. He chased the police commissioner around. He got sworn in as an honorary police officer, went to K-9 SWAT, the Philly Police Boat Unit. He had an entire day. We finished up with a late lunch at the FOP, and a lot of the news channels picked it up in Philadelphia. Currently, right now, I'm working with an 86-year-old Marine Corps veteran. A person that I used to work with at my full-time job actually put me in contact with him. His name is Joshua Culbreath. Now, Josh was in the Marine Corps from 56 to 58. He grew up in Norristown, Pennsylvania, and in 1956 in Melbourne, Australia, he bronze medaled in the 400-meter hurdles in the Olympic Games. In the Pan Am Games, 55 and 59, he gold medaled in that same event. He's done a lot with his life. He was inducted in the Marine Corps Sports Hall of Fame in 2008. Initially, I was told he had a couple things at his house that needed to be fixed, like his back steps and his mailbox. And when I got out there, I realized that the house was in a bigger state of disrepair and needed a lot more work done. So everything up until this point with the Warrior Heart's been my time and my dime. On this one, I'm kind of like a general contractor turning into one because I have the Home Depot involved. I have Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County. There was a company, I believe the name is Labor Services, donated the heater for his house and got that done last Friday. We've got an application in to see if we can get the roof donated and get that done. So that's turning into a pretty big project in and of itself. Things like that. There was another young boy I met last year. He has autism. I met him when I was driving for Uber, and I featured his story. I went out. He has goes to a league called the Miracle League of Mercer County. It's all special needs children and of varying degrees and levels, and they each have somebody with them, and they get to experience the game of baseball in their own way. So I've done that. Just basically whenever I come across a story that I feel is worthy, or somebody who's not letting things stop them, not letting the world tell them, no, you can't do that, you're not good enough to do that, they're fighting through it and doing it, even if it's in their own way. Again, as long as it's their best, that's always good enough. So.
Anybody else have a question?
Q. Mel. Where do you go to school? What kind of work do you do?
What kind of work do you do? I guess John's been telling us already.
So So my full-time job, I'm a facilities manager, and that's like a building manager. So I'll deal with plumbing, air conditioning, electrical contractors, things of that nature, office moves. Actually, 2 years ago in May of 2016, I managed an office move out at our Toledo, Ohio office. And because it was May and it was nice weather, I took the motorcycle and rode 620 miles out, did the move, and rode 620 miles back. So that was kind of neat. And then my second job, I sell motorcycles over at Brian's Harley Davidson in Langhorne. And next to being in the Marine Corps, that's probably the second most fun job I've ever had. Getting paid to be around motorcycles and ride motorcycles, you can't really beat that.
Did you grow up in the neighborhood, John?
What's that?
Did you grow up in the area?
I actually grew up in East Hampton, which is near Mount Holly, New Jersey, in Burlington County. I went to Sacred Heart School there, and then high school, we moved to the Columbus area, Mansfield Township, and I went to Northern Burlington High School. All the kids from McGuire Air Force Base went to Northern Burlington, and the kids from Fort Dix at the time went to Pemberton High School. And then right out of high school was when I joined the Marine Corps. And when I came back to the area, I'm living up in Hunterdon County, not far from Lambertville, New Jersey, and New Hope, Pennsylvania. So I'm up that way.
Heard a question from the crowd is, what are you doing tonight? I don't know who it came from.
What am I doing? Well, I was explaining a little earlier, it's already been a pretty full day for me. I was up at 2:30 this morning and had to meet everybody by about 4:30 to go down to Fox 29's Military Appreciation Day show. So we were down in the city for that. And actually that 86-year-old Marine Corps veteran, Josh Colbert, actually, he came down and he got to meet and talk and take pictures with a lot of people, and he loves doing that. He loves speaking with people. And then I ran up to my second job and took care of a few things at the motorcycle dealer. And then I came here to spend some time with you guys. And once I leave here, I'm going to go home and get my car and then run out to Lancaster and pick up my girl, and then I'll be coming back later tonight and back to work tomorrow.
You drink a lot of coffee, John?
No, but I faked it really well. I usually just drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and then as long as I keep moving, I'm okay. It's when I stop, I slip into a mild coma, and there's no waking me. But
We got nurses back there.
that's all perfect.
Any staff have questions as well? Staff or students? The one thing, I know John was just talking about it, but he's dedicating his time to be here today to read you guys, answer questions, so I think that deserves another big So,
It really is my pleasure, and I appreciate y'all inviting me down.
So, on behalf of HMS, we want to present this to you. We got hats in there, so just thank you so much for coming in today, and we really believe the message of the Warrior Heart. So
Thank
thanks.
you very much.
Appreciate it. Now, I okayed it with John. He didn't drive his car here. He drove his motorcycle here, and it's actually parked right out back here. What we're gonna do, and I know we'll try to do it the best way HMS can, we're gonna get ourselves assembled here, head on down the ramp, and check it out. But the first person that needs to go is Sam Carr, because if we don't allow that to happen, I won't hear the end of it. But before we do that, I make the announcement, we have a very special birthday in here, and I'm not talking about the 7th time Kristen McEwen turned 21.
Want to be the first to receive new content? Subscribe to the Warrior Heart on YouTube.